Welcome to this explainer. Look, if there's literally one thing I see constantly as a venture capital partner, it's this. Brilliant, highly capable founders who are just completely paralyzed by their own potential. I meet founders every single day who have a dozen incredible ideas, but because they can't decide between them, they just end up spinning their wheels. They tell me, oh, I'm just waiting for the perfect idea before I fully commit. But listen, I'm here to tell you that waiting for perfection is the ultimate trap. It is incredibly hard to make any meaningful progress on a startup without picking one single direction. So today, we are going to cure that founder hesitation. I'm going to give you the ultimate VC playbook for how to stop overthinking, pick an idea, commit to it with absolutely everything you have, and figure out incredibly fast whether it's actually working.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's the step-by-step framework we're going to use to push through that analysis paralysis. 1. Escape the overthinking trap. 2. Burn the other boats. 3. How to go deep. 4. Validating in the AI era. And 5. Why walking fast wins.
First up, escaping the overthinking trap.
Let me ask you this directly. Are you waiting for the perfect startup idea? It's a totally understandable impulse, right? Startups are brutally hard. So shouldn't you guarantee you have the absolute best idea before committing your life to it? Well, here's the harsh truth. It is mathematically impossible to figure out the perfect idea in the abstract. You literally cannot whiteboard your way to a billion-dollar company. You can only figure out what you should be working on by actually making contact with reality and, frankly, getting punched in the face by customer feedback. The other massive overthink I see is founders asking, but am I the perfect founder for this? They kind of weaponize their own lack of experience, convincing themselves they need a decade of domain expertise before they can even start.
To put that into perspective, let's look at a number. $1 billion. Take Blake Scholl, the CEO of Boom Supersonic. This brilliantly illustrates why the whole domain expertise thing is a total myth. Blake spent his early career working in ad tech, building software at places like Amazon and Groupon. He had zero background in aerospace engineering, none. But he was intensely curious about commercializing supersonic flight. People thought he was completely crazy. Fast forward to today, and Boom is a billion-dollar aerospace company. You do not need prior domain expertise. If you pick an idea you are genuinely curious about, go extremely deep, and talk to customers relentlessly, you can develop extraordinary knowledge in a shockingly short amount of time. Please, do not let the question of whether you're allowed to work on something stop you from starting.
Once you stop overthinking, you've got to commit. Often founders try to hedge their bets by juggling multiple ideas at once, thinking, hey, this is the safest way to figure out what works. But juggling ideas is a massive failure mode because it produces really bad data. If you're just dabbling, you get weak signals. And when you get weak signals, you are highly likely to either prematurely kill a genuinely good idea because you just didn't dig deep enough, or worse, convince yourself to keep clinging to a bad one. The solution? Go in depth first. Pick one idea, even if 3 look equally attractive, and commit to it completely. That is how you generate good signal and real conviction.
All right, moving to section 2, burn the other boats.
This brings us to a rather radical, dramatic piece of advice we give at Combinator. Burn the other boats. When you choose your one idea, you must explicitly foreclose all your other options. You have to literally stop working on them. If you had beta customers for another side project, you have to call them up and say, hey, I've pivoted. You must operate with single-minded focus on the one idea you've chosen. We're talking total, absolute commitment here.
Going deep should feel like wearing a completely new skin. You need to become an almost unrecognizable version of yourself. I worked with a startup called GovDash. They help customers win government contracts. Now, they're a massive success today, but they pivoted at least 5 times before landing on this specific idea. And here's the secret to why they succeeded. Each time they explored something new, they literally changed their identity. They changed their company name. They changed their internal narrative about why they were building a startup in the first place. At one point, actually, I forgot how to get in touch with them because they changed their email addresses with every single pivot. But because they wholly adopted the skin of government procurement experts, that 5th idea just exploded. They had so much demand they recently had to raise a Series B just to keep up.
Section 3, how to go deep. Now, what's really interesting about this is the ultimate test you have to pass. If you want to know if you're actually going deep enough, ask yourself this one question. Could you run your customer's business? Say you're building an AI voice agent for cleaning services. The milestone isn't, oh, have I talked to 20 cleaning service owners? No, the milestone is, if I dropped you into a cleaning business tomorrow morning, would you know how to run the entire operation?
To pass that test, you need to master the founder knowledge checklist. Do you know their daily crises? What are their exact top 5 problems?
Do you know the precise dollar cost to their business when a single phone call goes unanswered? And exactly what they'd be willing to pay out of pocket to guarantee they never lose another one? You need to be able to answer these questions with supreme confidence. You should be able to literally teach a college-level class on the specific problem you are solving. You must become one of the most informed people in the world on this micro-subject.
But how do you actually get there? Well, you don't get there by just sitting in a room thinking about it, and you definitely don't do it by waiting to talk to 100 customers before writing a single line of code. You do it through what we call the tight loop. You talk to customers to understand their deep needs, you immediately deliver a product, you watch them use it to gain a deeper understanding, and then you deliver a better product. You're doing both simultaneously. Real customers using your product produces concrete, undeniable data that perfectly complements all your abstract knowledge. Section 4. Validating in the AI era. When you're evaluating the data you're getting back from that tight loop, you need to look for specific qualities that make a great startup idea in today's unique landscape. A truly great AI idea sits at the absolute edge of what current models can do today. Your product might honestly barely work on today's frontier models, but it will clearly improve as the models themselves get better. You need to intimately understand those bottlenecks. The second quality is that it verticalizes the solution. And the third, it is wildly, unapologetically ambitious. Let's double-click on that second point real quick, because it is absolutely vital. To verticalize means you are selling an ultimate outcome, not just a piece of software. Because AI is effectively driving the cost of producing software to zero, the actual value isn't in building software for X anymore. The real value lies in owning the customer trust, securing the regulatory licenses, and taking complete ownership of the outcome, whether that's providing the actual medical care or writing the actual insurance policy. This breakdown of the old way versus the AI way is perfectly modeled by a YC startup called Corgi Insurance. The old way of building a startup was selling back-office SaaS software to insurance brokers, right? You only owned a tiny part of the solution and you had traditional headcount economics. But Corgi Insurance took the AI way. They didn't build software for brokers, they acquired an insurance carrier during their YC batch to literally be the insurer. They own the entire commercial insurance stack. Because they're a full-stack AI-powered company, they can underwrite with a fraction of the traditional headcount, offer wildly better pricing, and most importantly, they own 100% of the economics. That is exactly what it means to be wildly ambitious and verticalize.
Finally, Section 5. Why walking fast wins. So the crucial point is this. Going deep isn't actually about validating the very first idea you started with. It's actually a mechanism to find the better idea underneath. When most founders begin, they're really only solving surface-level pain points. But if you push hard and the idea fails, you now have unambiguous customer data. You've cleared away the surface. Failure simply exposes the deeper, structural, hair-on-fire problem that your customers are actually facing. You'll spot the gaps, the missing tools, the real bottlenecks, and solving one of those, that will become your actual billion-dollar company.
Building a startup is a lot like standing in an early morning idea fog. You can literally only see 10 feet in front of you. The overwhelming temptation for founders is to just take a few cautious steps in every single direction. Sample a little here, sample a little there, hedge your bets, stay close to home. But standing still or moving in circles gives you absolutely zero actionable information. What actually works, the only thing that works, is to pick a direction, commit to it, and walk as fast as humanly possible. You are not guaranteed to end up exactly where you aimed, for sure, but you generate exponentially more information per unit of time. And because you're walking fast, you might just arrive at a massive, structural opportunity that you couldn't possibly have seen from the starting line.
And that brings us to our final thought. The worst failure mode in startups is not being wrong. Being wrong gives you data. The worst failure is not making a decision. It's spinning your wheels, dabbling between 3 different ideas, and never going deep enough on any of them to actually learn anything. So I leave you with this. Will you stay comfortably paralyzed in the fog? Or will you pick one idea, burn the boats, and walk fast? The choice is entirely yours. Thank you for joining me on this explainer. Now go build something incredible.